Welcome to Handyman Mark, part garage, part science lab, part bad idea factory. We've got Jeeps, Harleys, 3D printers, laser engravers, and just enough handyman skills to be dangerous. Let's mess something up together. Welcome back, people. We're here with the AllTop compressor today again, and we are gonna see if we can get some more air out of this thing. See what it's gonna take. I've got a couple ideas here. First thing we want to do is we want to get this cover off it. My cover has the screws come stripped from the factory. They're just going into this orange metal case, and when they put them in, they stripped them out. Stripped the threads on the case. So I'm gonna end up having to run to Ace Hardware, finding me a slightly oversized screw so that I can run it down in those holes. But for now, we're gonna make do with it. There's 2 screws in the back side here, 1 on each side. There's 2 screws on the front in each corner. And there's gonna be 2 screws inside the front right here. So 6 screws total to hold this cover on. I had planned on also upgrading the electrical on this and getting rid of the circuit board. But after running this thing a few times, these wires don't get hot at all. I think I'm just gonna leave that alone for now and make that another day project. Get rid of, there's a circuit board in here. We'll get rid of that circuit board and put a relay in its place and wire it with some heavier wire. I think I have some 4-gauge wire around here. We can wire it with that. Put a Anderson quick disconnect on it. That way we don't have to pop the hood anymore. But for now, it's gonna work like this. I just wanna see if we can get more air out of this thing. We went from just over 10 minutes to fill all 4 tires with this system, stock out of the box, with the hose that came with it, everything just stock. Just air over 10 minutes to fill all 4 tires. Then we built our 4-tire inflation system. If you haven't seen that video, go watch that. It's in my videos. Really simple process. We built that and we got the time down to just over 5 minutes to fill all 4 tires. So now we're gonna see if we can breathe a little more air through this thing. See if we can get that down to, I don't know, 4 minutes would be nice. 4.5 minutes is probably a little more practical. Some thin wires this thing comes with. Some boogered up solder on this board. Holy cow. I've seen blind guys do a better job than that. What the heck? All right, let's get this down out of the way. On the AllTop, these pieces are just snapped in that cover your intake. There's a filter. There's a filter. And inside here, there are 3 screws. Hey, you guys seeing this okay? Let's check you out real quick. Let's get you zoomed in here so you can see what's going on. You don't need to see me, you need to see this. Here, I think that's gonna give you a better view. Anyway, down inside here, there's 3 little tiny screws. Teeny tiny screws. Pull those out. And then there is this, I don't even know why this insert thing's in here. All it does is the filters actually sit down in here And it only allows it to draw air through this side, which isn't much. And then here we've got a hole about as big around as my pinky finger. I don't know if you can see that. There's a hole right there. That's what's drawing the air through. I believe that's restricting the air we're getting through there. I don't think that's doing us any favors. As well as these covers. With these covers on here, you've got just a thin slit on each side that can draw air. And that's all. And that just, in my brain, which is probably all screwed up, well, we know it's all screwed up. In my brain, it's telling me that that's just restricting some airflow. Restricting some air from getting in here. So we're gonna open that up. We're gonna make a hole inside of here. We're gonna get rid of this extra insert that I'm not understanding. We're gonna put just a foam filter in here. Nice green foam filter. And we're gonna open this head up here, this hole here too. See if we can get this thing to suck in some more air. I believe we can exhaust more air without a problem. I believe what's restricting us is sucking in some more air. We're also gonna take, I got you guys zoomed in, so I need to be up here for you to see. I bought a pressure valve that kicks on at 70 PSI and off at 100 PSI. And we're gonna magically make this thing live right here inside the case. And move about here. We're gonna pull this intake or this manifold off. We're gonna bore us a hole in there so we can get this pressure in there, pressure switch in there, and that way the compressor's not running continuously when it doesn't need to be. So let's get some Allens, get that head off top of there. I already checked the size, so I know that it is a 5/8 Allen. Go through. All these, I'm guessing this is like the head, the intake. I don't know what they're actually calling it, but we're gonna get it off there. Whatever it is, it's coming off. Let's go crisscross just because. I also got some super lube. This is the silicone vacuum grease that we are gonna put on these pistons in here because I don't trust what they put on there from the factory. I don't know what they put on there. I don't trust not knowing what it is. I know this stuff works great. I know it's not going to be an issue. So we're going to get that on there. Make sure that the cheap little pistons in there are getting a full seal. It's be interesting to see. It's the first time I've gotten this far into this compressor. So it'll be interesting to see what we got here. I don't even know for sure. I looked for videos to get an idea, and I found similar compressors, but different. So, we'll see what we find on the AllTop ones. We have to pull both heads because the manifold here is run in between the two heads. So, you have to pull both heads to get at it. Those don't seem like they were super tight. I may want to put a little Loctite on that when we put it back together. use that orange Loctite that's only like semi-permanent. It's not completely permanent. It's like in between the red and the blue. It should hold it together, but if we do need to get back into it, we should be able to. I don't know why we ever would need to. As long as I don't screw something up. Last screw. Boom, bada bing. Let's see what we find. Well, you're only, that was cool. Looks like we're only using, this is the intake, this is the exhaust. It's got 2 chambers inside that head. So to open this up, we're gonna have to be careful. We don't want to go all the way through that for sure. Got some reeds here, which those are to do with compression and intake. Some nasty grease on top of there. Here's the other side of our reeds. They just let air flow through there. You got a set for intake and a set for exhaust. We'll set these off to the side. Come on, the other one came off. Why aren't you? What are we doing here? I want to pull the whole cylinder out. Oh, that got pretty deformed when it got put together. I don't want to fix that. Reach towards the inside. Got a sleeve here, it looks like. Heat dissipation. Piston sleeve. Yeah, you can feel that grease. It feels kind of rough. Let's get a paper towel. I wish I had some blue ones, but I don't. Clean some of this off here. It even looks bad. I don't know what it is that they use, but and it even doesn't necessarily look like you would think it should look. Clean those off and put them back together. But this is the piston. There's a couple holes in the top of the piston. I'm sure those are to clear the screws on the reeds. Wipe these off and we'll hit them with some super lube. Looks like we got, no, those aren't too bad. All right, now let's grab us a little bit of super lube here. Just a little dab on our finger of the super lube. Take that and we'll work it around this rubber or rubber type gasket. I'm not sure if it's actually rubber or what it is, but that's what it seems to be. Little nick in the gasket right there. And we'll get that worked around there. We'll grab us a little dab more. come over to this here piston, kind of spread it around a little bit, work it around, just trying to get all the way around this seal. This is an oilless system, so this seal is what's sealing against the inside of the cylinder wall. So we'll stick this back on here. Only goes a little ways in there. Let's grab a mallet. Plastic mallet here. Just make sure this is seated down in there. Get this one in. Make sure it's seated. There we go. Now we'll put this back on. It was this way around. All right. Those don't line up with those. What we got going on there? Oh, I see, those line up with those screws. Okay, 2 screws in the center here. So it's lining up with the holes on our piston. Let's get the, I guess this is just for heat dissipation. Does have a notch here, but I'm not seeing a notch here. So drop that back on. Make sure our sleeve is down. Ooh, there's some yuckies on here too. Not sure why we'd have grease up here, but flush, so it's not gonna matter. It's back on there. This one down on here. That's why I double checked that wasn't set all the way. Flip this one over here. And I'm just looking down, there's 4 screw holes. Screws go through this. Oh, I'm sure once we get let's see, if we get this, yeah, that'll hold it in place better. We're better off doing it that way. All right, now we want this sitting up here, that in there. We want this over here, as far over here as we can get it. Let's see, this set here. Here's our hole here. So we're gonna be down under here. May need to, I don't know if that's gonna clear. I'm looking at where this, I don't know if you can see this. Let's get this out of the way. What I'm looking at is where this is gonna live once it's back, once I put it in there. And I'm not seeing it clearing. We're gonna be down here. So we may clear. We may have to do just a little bit of trimming. Let's get this. on here. We don't have to be 100%, but we want to be pretty damn close. Grab us a marker. Good old Sharpie. And I'm guessing we're going to want this right below, yeah, we're going to want right below this and centered. So what we're going to do is come right here, come up out center, there's our mark. All right, that should do us good. Now we'll come over here to the drill press. There, now you can see what's happening. So we're going to drill down into this. We want to be careful and only go part way down. So here goes nothing. Silly me, I gotta get some oil. Definitely want to use oil on this. Get some little oil in here. Now we got some oil to go. I'm just going a little bit at a time. I'm not in any hurry. I got this drill press set on 1100 RPM. So it's moving nice and slow, controlled. Gotta be getting about there. Just peeked through. I think it needs just a bit more. It looks like we got it. All right. Let's take a peek-see here. See what we ended up with. Oh, yeah. Perfect hole. Perfect hole. Yes. All right. Now we are going to come over here to the vise. Get you turn around here. Get you set up there. We're going to get this clamped down into the vise. Like so. I'll get that handle out of the way. See if you guys can see what's going on. You can. Kind of. Let's do this. Let's bring you on this side. Turn you around here. Get you in there. All right, right here's our hole. You can see our hole. We need to run our tap through there now. So we can tap it out for our threads. So we will come over here, grab our tap and our tap handle. Get our tap set and our handle. Boom. Tap, handle. good rule of thumb, once you get it going, is go half turn, back up a quarter. That gets the shavings out of your out of your threads. So we'll go half turn, back up a quarter. Go half turn, come on. Half turn. Our handle's loosening up's the problem. Back up a quarter. Half turn. Back up a quarter. And we're cutting threads at this point. Half turn. Back up a quarter. I think we're about to the point of being bottomed out. Get a half turn. Yep. Back up a quarter. Half turn. She's getting tight, Captain. Back up a quarter. Don't get these cheap handles off of Amazon. These things are rough. They should not be moving around like that. Get another half turn, I don't know. We did. Okay. Let's try backing this up. Let's see what we look like. How far down are we threaded? We are threaded down. Looks like good enough. Let's see if we can get a little bit more out of it. Is it the way I have this bit sitting in here, I'll bet? It's because my bit is almost too big. There we go. All right, see if we can get one more half turn out of this sucker. Yep. I'm gonna call that good, people. Let's grab us sensor. Where did we set the sensor? We had the sensor. Where did the sensor go? We're playing there's the sensor. Let's see how this fits in there now. Bada boom, bada bang. We are cooking with gasoline, people. Gasoline. That up out of there. We are going to move the compressor off to the side. Bada boom, bada boom. Let's get our lid back on here. Get that off to the side. Let's bring this around here. Now we got tons of shavings down in here. Oh, it's going to be in the manifold. They're everywhere. So now we want to take our time. We want to try to get all those shavings out of there. So first thing we're going to do is grab us a trusty little blowout tool here. And our air hose. And I still need to change these fittings. I hate them. All right. Let's start. Come here. Come here, hose. Thank you. Here. Some air through here. Now we should be clean of shavings. He's going to put it back together now. Now what we're going to do, is we are going to get some pipe thread on here, some Teflon tape onto our fitting here. Teflon tape all your air fittings, whether you need to or not. Teflon tape them. Stuff's cheap, it can't hurt. Might help. If nothing else, it'll give you a peace of mind. Get some Teflon wrapped around here. I'm thinking at least 2 wraps. Maybe we should do 3. Here's 2. Final one will pull kind of tight. Here's 3. Break that off of there. There we go. Make sure we're not impeding. Take our sensor. Yes. Okay, good with some ratchets. We're not going to gorilla this on here, people. I'm using an 1 1/16" deep socket. Get this started in here. Take our 1 1/16". Run it in by hand. As far as we can get it. Take our ratchet. We don't want to gorilla this. This is aluminum, so it'll strip easy with those threads we put in there. I'd say about half of a ugga dugga. That's about all you're gonna need. There we go. Now I gotta put this away. It's gonna bother me if I don't, guys. Boom, bada bing. Now we have our sensor. Take the protective cap off. We have our 2 connections. These connections don't care. They don't care which way you put them together. I do have L clips so that when I wire this, it brings the wires off to the side, not coming straight out this way and taking up even more space. Can we get that to turn a little bit? I think we're gonna be happier if we can get another 1/4 turn out of that. Watch, this will be where I freaking strip it out. Let's see. Can we get it? Come on. There you go. I can live with that. Not pressing my luck any further. Alright. So let's see. How are you guys doing here? Well, you're doing good. We're 45 minutes into this video. Holy cow. Alright, let's grab some wire. I keep all of my, well, not all, I keep most of my automotive items in a tackle box. Just easier with all of the little compartments you get and everything, fuses and all your spare wire and all kinds of goodies in here. But right now we just need a chunk of wire. Oh, that will work. Come here. And we'll get our crimpers and our wire strippers. I'm gonna back you guys up a little bit now. Let's go this way, there. You can see what's happening. All right, we got a chunk of wire here. No idea what gauge it is. It's bigger than what's there. I'm guessing this is about a 14. That's at least a 16 or so. So we're gonna take, and what we're gonna do is, this is obviously power coming into the switch. This is gonna be power out of the switch, going down. No, this is a thermal. This is gonna be power into the switch, power out of the switch. We could just move that over and go onto there. Let's see here, let's get this stripped. Boom. We're gonna need a little bit of extra, so we'll cut her off a chunk here. And then we'll strip this back here. Boom. Take our L connector, elbow connector, whatever. Yeah, it should be deep enough. Go in there. Grab our crimpers. There. Ooh, didn't get her crimped enough, fellas. This happens. Can we get it back in there for another crimp? Yes, we can. All right. I don't like these crimpers on this. Let's see here. That doesn't seem good. There, crimped. I go on there. And what I'm thinking is, why not just pull the wire off here, plug it into here. Do we have enough wire anywhere? We would on this side. Yeah, we could pull this off, plug it into there, plug this into here, go back to the board with it. Or back to the switch, I'm sorry. That way we don't have to build a jumper. Our switch still works. I think that's what we're gonna do. Get this other end crimped down here. You know what, I'm gonna save this elbow. Put a regular end on that end. So I have a ton of these. I don't have a ton of those elbows. Boom. We'll unplug the blue wire here. It's coming from our circuit board to our switch. If we can. Don't want to pull the wire out. We want to pull it off. Looks like our other wire is not connected all the way anyway. So let's get a pair of, where are some needle nose? Man, I lost my needle nose not too long ago, and I have not been able to find them. So I'm stuck with this little dinky mini pair. But I guess that'll work for this. So we're just trying to get this connector off. There we go. It doesn't look like the black connector's pushed on all the way. There we go. So we'll take wire straight into the wire we just made. Plug it in here. Come on. Plug in there. There we go. It's in there. Now these two wires here will go to our pressure. But before we do that, we want to open these holes up a little bit before we go assembling this. So why don't we grab, here is our handy dandy drill. Handy dandy drill. Handy dandy drill bit. I just have a step bit here. All we're gonna do is step these holes up a little bit until we start getting into this cross brace. Running it, keeping an eye on how deep I'm going. Making sure I'm not getting into a danger zone. Oh, we're still going good. This old Porter cable drill that I have, this thing's been around for 20 years, probably 15, 20 years. And it just keeps chugging right along. Looking good. I can see we're gonna want to blow this thing out again once we're done with this. That's okay. Give me my bit back. I'm saying it doesn't like to lock down anymore. Alright, we're just starting to get into that. We can go up. Wow, we've gone significantly bigger already. A little bit more. One more step. That's about as far as I want to push it. About 7/8. That's a lot. Considering we started out at, maybe a 1/2 inch. Take a look there. You see this? Finger bouncing around in there. You see this? Finger tight in there. That's dramatically bigger. Dramatically bigger. That is definitely going to allow some more air to come through there. Go. A whole lot of chippings on the floor. Yes. Yes, my friend, yes. We have mega holes. All right, now we are ready to, I believe we can start reassembly on this thing. Let's get, see this one went this way, yes. Get it sitting on there. This one went this way. Now, something I did notice is that one of these heads, or whatever, seemed like it was twisting on here. Could have just been me. All right, let's get this. Move this out of your way. Get this sitting back down here. Boom. Bada bing. Don't want to force anything. Everything will sit down. Don't want to force it. All right, now we need to get this plugged in first. So let's take our longer wire. Pop up this side of the head. Yeah. Pop up the whole thing. Put our longer wire back here, which is going to be furthest away. Boom. Then we'll get our shorter wire, which is coming off our circuit board. Get it pushed down there. Maybe. Is that end too small to fit on there? Shouldn't be. Come on. Maybe that end is too small. I don't know. Extra wire there. I don't know if that one's gonna reach way over here. We may have to pull this back off. Boom. And we may have to put a new end on here. This may be a smaller end so that it's coated, but I don't think we can get the black one. It's the same size. They're just smaller ends. It's not gonna slip over the sensor. Yeah, they're definitely smaller. Oh, I hate to shorten that wire any. All right, where did I put my wire clippers? There they are. Cut it off, leave as much as possible. This has got to be about 20 gauge, 18 gauge. Let's grab this another end here. We have one that's not. Sit shorter, no. I'm gonna sit about the same. Get this stuck on here. Take our crimpers, crimp this down nicely. Check it, not going anywhere. Get this back up here. Get this one plugged back in here where we wanted it. This one plugged on here where we wanted it. Boom. Now, get our head sitting back in place. We need to get our hose fed through this, back through the back cover where it belongs, because we don't want to pull our wires tight. We need all of this to come together at one time. Board slipped out of our holder in here. Slip that back in there. Bring that back up here while we're doing this. Okay. We're gonna bend this out of the way a little bit. Just give it a bend backwards. That should be good. And we know it's not holding us up. Too many pieces to the puzzle. All right, let's see here. That will sit in there, won't it? Let's flip around this way. Let's sit back in here. It's a good thing I did this because I realized I had these on backwards. Spun around the wrong way. I wouldn't have realized that if I wasn't moving the gasket. So I guess it's a good thing. Right. When it wants to argue with you, ooh. What you do is you get yourself a little bit of dab grease. Put that little bit of dab grease where you want that gasket to stay. And that'll help hold that gasket. Just a dab though. You don't want to go putting too much on here. I took that little tiny dab and put it in 6 different spots. Take this, get it sitting back into here where it wants to be. Come on. Sit in your home. In your home. Adam Sandler? I think that was Adam Sandler. Alright, we'll get these sitting back on here. Roughly where we want them. Should be able to bring this up here. Get it sitting. Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna fit. Let's worry about one obstacle at a time here. Feels like we're sitting good. Let's see if we can get a bolt started in here. Bolt went right in, so it's gotta be somewhat happy sitting where it's at. Second bolt dropped right in, so I gotta believe it's liking that part. Bolt dropped right in, started threading, so we gotta be happy there. Dropped right in, it's threading, so I had to get it pretty damn close. Hopefully we got it close enough. Close enough. Get that out of our way. Just gonna run them down snug. I have no clue of torque specs for this thing. I could not find any kind of information like that online. So, I don't think it needs to be muscled down. We're gonna go with what I think I should do, and we'll know once we get it fired up if we're in good shape or not. these bolts run back in here. Come on. There we go. Snug. Let's get them started by hand. And you see, the bolts are going right back in. You shouldn't have to fight with them. You shouldn't have to anything. If you are, jiggle your stuff around, make sure everything's lined up. Something's not lined up somewhere if you're having to fight with it. I can see down in there now, our gasket, our orange gasket stayed where we wanted it to. Went back together the way it should. So we should be good there. Snug, 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 snug. All right, I guess we're gonna give them about a quarter turn, eighth turn, quarter turn from snug. So we'll go here, quarter turn. Here, quarter turn, here, quarter turn. And it's too loose. There we go. Snug, quarter turn. Snug, quarter turn, snug, quarter turn. I think these two here felt a little soft. Yeah, here we go. Alrighty, that should be that and that and that. Then we need to figure out what we have to do to get this back up in here, because I believe our board is gonna hit, and it is. What can we do to get past that board? I mean, right there. Here we go. Now it fitted it. How can we get this all the way up through there? I feel like it needs to go a little bit more. There we go. Bada boom, bada bing. Take a peek, make sure everything's still being happy. Looks like it is. All right, now let's get the front cover on. Let that cover pop back. Let's do this. Let's get your long screws started down into your holes, so we know you're good. Where's the hole? Hole's got to be right there. Come on. Where'd it go? Here, did we find it now? No, it's not in the hole. That's just doing wonky stuff. All right. There, now we gotta be about there. Come on. Come on, find the hole. That slip in. Gotta be somewhere right here. All right, let's start on the other screw. That one we seem to have a little more room to move. Figure out where that one goes. Yeah, help us with that one. I think we got that one right off the bat. Yes, we did. But I see a wire that looks like it's getting pinched. I don't want the wire to get pinched. Get the wire out from under there. So be careful, because that was the wire going down to, I believe it's the thermal shut off or something. And it was getting pinched in there. You don't want that, because that can definitely cause a short. This one's set. Looks like right here. Why are we doing that? Gotta go in a little bit. Should be right about there. Should drop into our hole. I need to argue here, folks. I'm not finding the hole. Doesn't help that I can't see the hole. The hole should be right here. Ring coming off my hand. Left this enough to see? No. Okay, we know the hole's not way out here. That felt like it. Yep, that was it. Just gotta fidget with it a little bit and find a hole and get it in there. So there, we got the back half on. That's all I'm concerned with at the moment. Make sure everything's happy. Okay. Now we open this up. We don't want to stick this back on here because it's not going to be happy with it anymore, and it's not going to give us any extra air. So what we're going to do, we're going to grab, where are my scissors? My scissors are not scissors, what are you? Oh, scissors. I have a pair of garage scissors. But damned if I can find them. That's foam. And I took the liberty of this cap here will sit right inside there, which when we put the tops back on, will fit inside there. So we're going to take and cut us a circle out of this foam with some scissors that we don't have. Hang on, guys, I'm gonna go grab the wife's scissors. I'm gonna use my dogs. Okay, we stole the wife's scissors. Careful doing that. My wife kicked my ass if she knew. Hopefully she never watches the video. Get this lined up here. Trim this piece off here. I'm gonna come back around here. Cut it around our cap. And it doesn't have to be absolute perfect. You just want to make sure that your final product will fit in your cap. Take a little piece right there, needs to be rounded off. And then a little piece there needs to be trimmed. We'll sit that down in there, and that covers up our hole. Perfect. Perfect. Take this here. Once we get that smooshed in there, we'll be good. See, this should fit inside here is what you want it to do. Off by just a smidge right here. So we'll round this off just a hair. get it to fit in there now. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, now there is still one more step to what we need to do. We are going to open up the top of this. So that way we get air directly down into our new holes that we just created. So in order to do that, we need to come back over here. Give me a rag. I don't want to wipe this with my hand with those metal shavings on it. All right, can you guys see the drill press? Let's get you focused over here, up here. I'm not going to move you, but I'll zoom you in so you can at least see what's going on. Boom. What we're going to do is we're going to get this bit out because we don't need it now. Boom. And then we're going to take this, I believe this is 1.25 inches. It's deadbolt hole. I'm wrong, 2 inch. It's 2 inch hole bit. Get that up in here. Get our chuck tightened down. And this is just the Wen, W-E-N, cheap tabletop drill press. At the time that I bought it, I don't even remember what the price was on it. 5-6 years ago. It was cheap. And this thing has been a trooper. I do a lot of woodworking and it's done a lot of holes for me. Alright, let's get this loosened up, straightened out. Make sure we're going to go get our cap on here. Bring our table up. We're just about touching. Oh, no, come back up here. There you go. Get our table tightened up. Make sure our drill bit, no, there's a hole in the center. You want to make sure your drill bit's going to go through that hole because you don't want to drill into your table. So you got to make sure it's squared. Boom. Tighten that back up. Piece. Here's about center. Right there we go. Boom. We have a hole. Let's get our piece of plastic out of our bit. Come back in here with the next one. Get her about centered up. And I'm holding this hard, guys. I wouldn't recommend doing this with your hand. I would recommend holding this with the vice grip or something. Boom. We have holes. Holes. Eyeglasses. Hello. I see you. All right. Let's get you back over here. I'll zoom this back out. Get down there. You can see it, zoom it out just a hair more. There we go. Now you'll be able to see me too. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that foam, we're gonna put it inside here. Make sure it's set in there all the way. We're gonna take this, stick it back on here, and mine just clips on. Ooh. Ah! We need this for this to clip into. Well, damn you. Why'd you do that to me? That's not playing nice. I gotta open that up because we're losing part of our hole there. Don't want to open it up too much. We're just barely gonna work as it is. So just on this side, how do we go about doing that? And that's bad drawing. Big file on that. How long does that take on this plastic? I'm just using a half moon file here. See, half moon file coming in here. This side that I need to open up. File this back. Not quite to the threads, but we need to open it up so it's not restricting our air. We just decided how to get there. I think that's gonna be good. This thing will only go in one way. It has 1, 2, 3 screws. So the screws will only index one way. That's the way. And we still got a little bit of ways to go yet. A little bit more. Make sure we got all the burrs and the uglies off it. Set it in there. Bada boom, bada bing. We are perfect. My holes line up now. That's what these 3 little tiny, teeny, tiny screws are. Do not drop this in your compressor. You'll be tearing your compressor back apart. And that will make you not happy. Piece of plastic there. Screw hole lined up. Screw on my magnetic tip of my screwdriver. Into the hole you go. Boom. I just stopped, thought we didn't put thread locker on there. It's all right, we're gonna be back in here. So we'll make sure to do it then. Now we're just trying to get the screws in here. Boom. That's all 3 screws. Take our green foamy foam, stick it down inside this foam retentioner, filter retentioner, whatever it is. All 4 are the same. It's that and that. Does that have to be anywhere special? Doesn't seem like it. Just like that, we're snapped back on. Nice pretty green foam on top and airflow. We've got the airflow. All right, now we're gonna have to open this one up, and we're gonna have to open it up. I don't know if you can see, but the 3rd screw, 1, 2, 3, 3rd screw, the middle screw, is where we're having to open it up. We're opening it up almost all the way to the screw hole. Basically just leaving enough for the shoulder of the screw to tighten down to. This file's working good. It's letting me be controlled. It's chewing it off fast enough that I'm not having to work at it too much. little bit more. Let's see. Oh, we got it right there. Bada boom, bada bing. Put in the little itty bitty screws. You notice I'm not letting the screws come over top of my hole. I don't want them to fall into the piston there. Even though this thing is magnetic, I am still being careful. Really don't feel like tearing it all back apart right at the moment. Don't wanna. Get that all screwed down. Do. Now we still gotta cut another filter. I didn't do that. Why'd you guys let me forget about that? This here. Yeah, I blame you guys for letting me forget the filter. What the hell? There we go. Get this little nub off of here. Boom. Filter will set right down in there like it should. Boom. Our other cover. Go right on there. Snap itself in place. Bada boom, bada bang. Looky there. Average person looking at that would never know anything was done to it. All right, I want to get the other half of the cover on here quick, and then we're going to give this thing a test and see if it's making air still like it should be. So let's get this back cover here. Go. Snapped right in place. That is a good sign. We still have room inside there. So that means once I do get rid of the circuit board and get the relay in there, I should still have room for this cover to go back on. And then the average person will look at it from the outside and be like, The only thing you'll notice is the green filters. The pretty green filters. Green is my autistic son's favorite color. It's kind of where the green came into play originally. I had a Cherokee for years that was painted in the same green, and we called it Bacon, because the person I got it from put a whole lot of bacon, which in my day referred to money, into that Jeep, and sold it to me for pennies on the dollar for what he had into it. So we named that Jeep Bacon. Painted it green for my boy. And then ended up getting rid of the Cherokee because I had the bright idea that I wanted me a Gladiator. And the Gladiator lasted about 6 months. And then the wife took over the Gladiator, because I will tell you now, I bought the Gladiator for work. And a couple things I learned about Gladiators really quick is A, they do not make a good Jeep. B, they do not make a good truck. But in their defense, they are a decent mix of the two. They're not horrible at either one, but they're not good at either one. Let's be for real. It's such a long wheelbase. It's got such an overhang off the back of it. Yes, you can trim the bed down. They make kits to bob the bed. And there's even a company here in town that will bob the bed for you. Yes, that helps with the departure angle, but I didn't want to do all that to a brand new damn Gladiator that I just paid more than I should have for. So I let the wife take the Gladiator, And I went and found me a TJ, because I've always wanted a TJ. Never had a TJ. Had YJs, I've had XJs, I've had WJs, I've had ZJs. XJs seem to be my favorite. Well, I cannot get this one screw to line up, people. This thing is getting frustrating. There's one screw on the other side, and now there's one screw on this side. And it almost seems like the case is in too far. But I try to move it, and I still can't find the hole in it. But anyway, my love has always been the XJs. I've built too many XJs over the years. I've done them in all kinds of configurations. I've done them in a little bit. The last one I had was Cheddar, not Bacon, I'm sorry. Cheddar was a beast for being on stock axle, stock high pinion 30 in the front. Did have 456 gears in it. Rode around on 35s, and I beat the crap out of that thing. Turned around and sold it to a gentleman who beat the crap out of that thing. I have no clue where it's at anymore. It's been gone 4 years now. So, but anyway, I'm just rambling at this point. We did get the screw in and tighten down. We have no more pieces and parts laying on the table other than filters that we replace. So let's take this thing over here. Get her up on here. Can you guys see what I'm doing over here? Let me bring you around. I'm just gonna hook the compressor up, get it wired up, and we'll see if our pressure switch works like it's supposed to. What should happen now is, we're on a closed open system, so let's plug this in here before we do this. That closes our system up. Switch is off. We'll hook up a power. We'll hook up a ground. Now when we turn this on, it should kick on for just a minute, and then it should shut right back off. That pressure switch we put in there should shut it back off. We let a little air out, it'll kick back on. Gets up to pressure, it'll shut back off. Boom. That is a good sign. Let a little air out of here. Boom. Valve on, valve off. It is doing what it is supposed to do. So, success there. Now I'm gonna air these tires back down. We'll get them back down to 8 pounds. We'll get the stopwatch going, get you guys set up where you can see the stopwatch, and we'll air these tires up one more time, and we'll see how long it takes now. See what kind of improvements we just made on this thing. So, hang in there.